Video 3. Identifying streams and wetlands. Identifying streams and wetlands on a property is not always as straightforward as it may initially seem. Let's start with looking a little closer at the questions, what is a stream, and what is that stream's name? After that, we will also cover, is my action considered in-stream, and what is the ordinary high water mark? Toward the end of this video, we'll also cover what is a wetland, and what type of wetland do I have? What is a stream? Although the term blue line stream is heard often, a blue line stream really just relates back to the blue lines identifying known stream locations on topographical maps. This can be helpful in high-level overviews, but really misses a lot of stream resources that are both present and regulated as waters of the Commonwealth in Kentucky. Blue line stream is not used in regulatory decision-making or to determine whether or not a permit is needed. Kentucky Division of Water actually prefers to classify streams into 3 categories by stream flow type: perennial, intermittent, and ephemeral. Perennial streams have good connection to groundwater and surface flow is present mostly year-round. Intermittent streams have connection to groundwater, but only intermittent or part-year water flow present. An ephemeral stream is a channel that lacks groundwater connection, and flow presence is primarily related to precipitation events. Perennial and some intermittent streams are often depicted on topographic maps, visible in some aerial imagery, or identified within some of the interactive mapping available on the Kentucky Water Maps portal webpage, watermaps.ky.gov. Other useful digital mapping tools include ArcGIS or the EPA Waters GeoViewer. Digital mapping is a valuable tool, but keep in mind that it's only as good as the accuracy of the map data available. Some fieldwork may be necessary to identify and classify all waters present in your project area. Questionable flow types should be verified on-site by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers if being used for jurisdictional determination purposes. Identifying a stream's name. The Kentucky Water Maps portal is a great place to start if you need to identify the name of a stream in your project area. From the portal's homepage, scroll to the bottom and select the Water Quality Certification Viewer. From there, select Coordinates from the options under Area of Interest, and enter your coordinates as shown. Once you're done, click Locate to the right of the latitude and longitude fields. Click on the magnifying glass icon to zoom to your project site on the map. Click on the stream, and a box will pop up with information, including the stream name and flow type. In the event that no stream name appears in the attribute box, you can identify the stream by its relationship to a larger named body of water. From your project area, track downstream until a stream segment displays a name. For example, an unnamed stream segment that flows down into named Harrods Creek could be referenced as an unnamed tributary to Harrods Creek, which implies its relationship and connection to that larger identified waterway. There can be multiple streams across the state with the same name, so it's important to also include the Kentucky County name on any application form. How do you know if your project action is in-stream? And what is ordinary high water mark? Project actions occurring below the ordinary high water mark are considered to be in-stream, and depending on the activity type may require a federal Section 404 or Section 10 permit and corresponding state Section 401 water quality certification from the Kentucky Division of Water. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers uses the ordinary high water mark as a regulatory term to define the extent of the stream channel regulated by the Clean Water Act's Section 404 and Section 10 federal permits, often referred to as jurisdictional waters. The Army Corps Louisville District cites that ordinary high watermark means that line on the shore, established by the fluctuations of water, and indicated by physical characteristics such as a clear natural line impressed on the bank, shelving, changes in the character of soil, destruction of terrestrial vegetation, the presence of litter and debris, or other appropriate means that consider the characteristics of the surrounding area. Unless otherwise defined by known elevation for large rivers like the Ohio River, The ordinary high watermark is best defined by site-specific conditions and verified by a field observation. Questions about defining an ordinary high watermark can be directed to the Army Corps district offices. What is a wetland? Wetlands are very important on the Kentucky landscape because they help to slow water velocity, filter contaminants and sediments, provide critical wildlife habitat, and slow the release of stored water through infiltration and underground transport. For regulatory purposes, the definition of a wetland is an area that is inundated or saturated by surface or groundwater at a frequency and duration sufficient to support, and that under normal circumstances do support, a prevalence of vegetation typically adapted for life in saturated soil conditions. To confirm a wetland area, you can use the Army Corps of Engineers Wetland Delineation Manual, Regional Supplement for the Eastern Mountains and Piedmont region, and the Regional Supplement for the Atlantic and Gulf Coastal Plain region. Wetlands Mapper is a digital mapping tool available online through the National Wetlands Inventory website. This tool can help to indicate current or potential areas for wetlands. However, it cannot be used as a sole definitive source for presence or absence of wetlands on your project site, because it currently does not display the majority of wetland features that are present within Kentucky. What type of wetland do I have? Wetland types are typically defined by vegetation classes, such as emergent, herbaceous and grass-like, scrub-shrub with woody scrub-shrub present, or forested with woody trees present. Remember that an adjacent wetland area could be impacted by a project's changes in hydrology. It's also important to remember that permanent conversion of wetland type may require compensatory mitigation, such as clearing a forested wetland and maintaining it as an emergent wetland.